You're listening to episode 99.
99 times. 99
times. That's a reference to the...
Fresh Floppies.
No, to Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, but you didn't say episode 99 what?
Fresh Floppies. What's up to all our sidekicks?
I was going to do it.
Oh, you go ahead.
No, it's over now.
Too late.
You go. What's up? No. No, you didn't. Go ahead.
What's up to all our sidekicks and henchmen out there in the Geek Nation? You're currently listening to...
Fresh Floppies.
See, when I point, you say the next thing.
Oh, that's really reductive.
Oh.
It's kind of rude, too.
A little bit. We're here to talk about this week's comic books, but without spoilers.
Yes.
For anyone who doesn't know, there's people who come into my shop,
yeah,
which is 4327 Main Street, Philadelphia, PA 19127.
You got to get the zip code, the postal code in there.
There are people who come in, first of all, sometimes they're rude and they're like, oh,
they still
people
make these?
buy these? People like buy these regularly? They just like come in here and... Someone asked me that the other day. People come in here and just buy comics?
Nope.
Yeah, dude. That's what a comic shop is. Anyway, I forgot where I was going with that. No spoilers is what I'm saying. Books come out every week.
Wait, I'm going to talk about something else now, too.
Okay, great.
Okay.
It can't be a tangent if we're never on a path.
Well, what if the path is the tangent?
That's right. The tangent is the friends you made
along the way.
The destination
is the journey.
Go ahead.
Just yesterday at the shop, I basically gave a crash course to a parent as to what comics are. It's just like, okay, the single issues over here. Those are single chapters in an ongoing story. When a story arc is done, it comes over here.
Yeah,
and then it's collected in this.
Trade paperback
and
wall.
then when there's a bunch of these, it goes to here.
Yeah.
And
it's the omnibus wall.
Well, what's manga? Well,
it's fun though.
And then it turns into a, hey, they're all comics.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, what's the difference between a graphic novel and nothing? It's a comic.
Sequential art with
words. It's just comics. Yeah. The other thing is, there was in one of my Facebook groups, somebody had mentioned like, hey, what's your hot take or what's your thoughts on the current comic industry?
Yeah.
And my response was, overall in a vacuum, great. Like the content-wise, great.
Yeah.
But if you ask anyone under 20, they have no idea what the hell an LCS is or how it works. And if you ask
local comic shop.
And if you talk to anyone over the age of 35, 40, they're going to talk to you about what they liked before and how it's not the exact same way, and they're going to be mad. So us in the middle are enjoying the shit out of it.
Yeah. In a vacuum, lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
But everyone's baggage.
I've seen that meme like. Comics are great if you don't have a bitch in your ear telling you they suck.
Basically. Yeah, basically. Speaking of comics that are great, this week...
All right, so this book came out a couple weeks ago, the first issue, and then Noel wasn't here for that show because he was away in...
Forever. I was away in forever.
Italy, in the forever world.
I was gone.
Just sipping wines.
I was in a different postal code.
And not 19127?
No, not 19127.
There's more than just...
There's
a whole world out there?
More than 5, less than a billion.
Okay. Exquisite Corpses by Michael Walsh and James Tynion?
This is a thing. So I read both for issue 1 and 2. Issue 1 was written by James Tynion with art by Michael Walsh. Issue 2 is written by Michael Walsh with James Tynion with art by Mariana Ignacy and Michael Walsh. So... this is it seems like it's Michael Walsh's baby with assistance by James Tynion, or just like
kind of the same way that James Tynion got his start helping out Scott Snyder in Batman.
But also too, the way that they are sectioning these books off, it literally says season 1, issue 2. I'm presuming that it's maybe like a showrunner type of thing, and then Michael Walsh might be doing this bit of writing or directing. Important
to notice. Michael Walsh did the Frankenstein book last year, which was good. And he also did Silver Coin.
Oh, yeah.
That anthology series.
That horror anthology series.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
He is a writer and an artist. And I read the first issue, and I got to tell you, my favorite part of the first issue was his art.
It was really, the art is great in this book.
And I immediately noticed, like, the first page is him, but then I immediately noticed, like, well, this is somebody different. And I had to go back and be like, oh, he's writing this with James Tynion and just kind of like doing little pieces. But what did you think of the first answer?
I was telling everyone to buy the Exquisite Corpses. I love the first issue. I think it's a really great jumping.
A huge first issue.
Huge.
It's like 60 pages for $4.99.
It's 3 issues, basically, in one big chunk. It's like a little mini trade paperback. I favorite book of the year so far. I think it's great. I think it's a lot of fun. It does feel big and dumb.
That's high praise.
Like, it's if you like the movie Ready or Not, for some reason it's got that kind of vibe to it, where it's a little humorous, it's very over the top, very silly, with like it's the idea, the conceit of it is basically every 5 years, I think, the 13 the most powerful families in the world will hire or conscript some sort of killer and then take over an entire town. That's the problem that's one of the things I have a problem with. I was like, how does this keep happening and no one notices? And they release their killers into this town still filled with people, and then the killer that's still alive at the end means that house wins and they get to have carte blanche for the United States for the next 5 years.
I want to add on because I just read it last night. It's the 13 original colonies, the 13 original houses of America.
Yes.
And every 5 years, whoever wins that gets to
call the shots.
Call the shots for 5 years.
Because they're controlling everything.
But I was like, why is there only 12 killers? It's because the current can't play in the game.
Yes.
So Pennsylvania is the current runner of the country, and they can't play the game. And we're introduced to all of the killers in that first issue. The first issue, it didn't slog. It was really fun. But after like introducing the 8th killer, you're like, all right, let's roll through these.
Oh, that was not me. I was in.
It was. I really, really liked how they're all associated with a type of murder or weapon, and that's really, really creative, and that was really, really cool. But I wanted to get to like the actual start, and that's why it's extra long. I am so glad it's extra long because it allowed story to happen and not just homework. So like it was a really, really good balance.
Not only, I agree with you, not only are you introduced to those families and their killers, they also take time to set up the normies, the townies who we're going to be following through the story.
Well, I mean, if you have it's unlimited wealth and they explicitly choose little what's the word podunk little towns in the Midwest that just, the places that you hear of that don't even have broadband. Yeah. Kind of like, they don't have fiber optics yet, let alone anything else. So like
they're not wired in.
Yeah. So
very small town.
They show that, like they pull all communications, they block the roads. It's mildly conceivable. It's just probably going to get less and less conceivable. But still, I think it works. The second issue was fun. Wasn't as strong as the first, but I really dug it.
Yeah. It's just more of the same.
And
we're in for this one evening of murder.
There's one thing that does it bothered me a little bit, but I don't know if you could have done it any other way. So in the first issue, we focused almost exclusively on, at least character development wise, Virginia, the House of Virginia, and their chosen killer. Yeah, and they go completely out of their way to set them up as this is your protagonist for the whole time.
It's kind of like a Rambo.
Yeah. And then they show a like murder bracket in the back.
Fun.
But they do it in a way where you're able to see what the matchups are going to be. And I don't want that. So like I'm seeing him now, like he is going to go against somebody next that I actually wanted to know more about their character, but now that I know that he's mainly the protagonist, he's not going to die in issue 3.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And that really bothered me because I want this to be.
Is he the lone gunman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want this to be completely unreliable.
Yeah.
I want this to be wild.
Yeah.
Not unlike that movie, The Hunt. Like you're following somebody for a while and they look like the hero and then they get blown up.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that is a little taken out.
I agree with you. But I also find the idea of a bracket charming enough that I'm kind of like, oh, that's cute. And
super
you
charming.
Also you can cut out and keep each issue. You cut out the last page and you get a collectible card so that you can play a card game.
So I wouldn't have made it a 2-sided bracket. It would have just been a list of all of them and then advances.
Yeah.
Without showing me who's going to be up against who narratively.
Yeah.
That would have I think, but that's honestly, and that is such a nitpick for like the back, because
Right?
it potentially spoils pieces of the story that I'm hella engaged with. So it's like, stop it.
See,
Stop
I like that they're calling it
too cute by half.
Oh, okay.
Or too cute by a quarter.
I think it's perfectly cute.
Because it's cool, but it kind of tells me things that I don't want to know yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Man, this book is fresh AF for me. You can go to shoptinyonion.com for exquisite merch and exclusive covers. Part of me kind of wants to support him. I read so many James Tynion books that I feel like I should help him out. Like I should.
Well, you do support him by purchasing his books and selling them,
pushing
to other
the shit out
people.
of them to anyone who will listen.
I don't think you have to feel bad about anything.
No. I mean, it's just one of those things where like I like him. I want to rep him. Also, I like his stupid little logo.
The onion.
Just a little onion with little spirals.
This is a good book. This is
great.
fresh as hell. This is a really fun book.
As far as presentation, fresh AF as well. Like the paper's nice, the color's nice.
It's not cardstock,
glossy,
but it is a thicker cover stock. It's very nice.
Speaking of cardstock, is yours? Oh wait, are we doing this one next or yours?
We can do that next.
Cardstock, Superman Unlimited #2 from the Summer of Superman. Man of Steel, World of Kryptonite.
He gets a whole season.
This is the new book by Dan Slott, who's just come over to DC Comics with Raphael Albuquerque. And this is his big to-do over on Superman. You and I have not discussed
The first issue?
Unlimited #1.
What'd you think?
I thought... I read the Free Comic Book Day, which was just the prelude of the first issue.
Basically.
And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I read the full first issue and went, boy, that is a lot of exposition. This is a lot of telling this whole story of Kal and Superboy and Lex.
Dan Slott didn't want to pick a lane. He's like, I want to write something evergreen that people will pick up, like Superman for All Seasons 20 years from now. But I also want to write something current continuity and crazy.
Yeah.
So he inserted in that first issue an entire 15-page middle section of his whole life flashing before his eyes. And it's like, okay, I get it. Yeah. If this is the very first, I've never heard of Superman, and I'm reading it now for the first time, that's helpful.
I will say, I'm going to push back on that slightly in that, yes, I've never heard of Superman is impossible. But there are a lot of intricacies of the Superman continuity that have peaks and valleys, and like that counted. Oh, that didn't count. That disappeared. That came back. A lot of this stuff was me for the first time going, oh, so Superboy, he was Superboy again. Oh, okay. Because, when I was growing up, it was the Man of Steel, John Byrne miniseries, which had no Superboy. So now we've got Lex Luthor in Smallville. They were friends as kids, which was wiped out. Superboy was wiped out. So it was kind of important for me to know all of this stuff is back in again. Not just like, oh, I know Superman is. Like, they were friends as kids.
Back for a while.
Maybe.
Secret Origin?
The time that I took notice of it was the Last Days of Lex Luthor, when Mark Waid was like, oh, we're doing an Elseworlds where they were friends as kids.
That's out of continuity, yeah.
Right. And then I was like, oh, it's in continuity.
But I'm
again.
pretty sure like current continuity, or at least since Rebirth, has been an amalgam of Secret Origin and Birthright, where there is, and that's been for like 10 years. But it doesn't matter. That irrelevant. But that still is your specific experience knowing what was and wasn't continuity over the last 30 years, and now you're being informed it is back in continuity. But the way that it's presented here is just my life flashing before my eyes, which I think is more for, it's less for you and more for, this is the first Superman book I'm going to pick up ever, right?
Yeah.
So
no, what I'm saying is, even if you aren't that person and you're a person like me who has been reading comics for a long time, it was still like, oh, okay, it's good to know.
It wasn't poorly done. It was just
I
a
found
lot.
it to be kind of a slog, but I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
And then this is, right off the bat, did you clock that in the beginning of this issue it says Metropolis, June 1938, and then there's no time jump, but somehow this is modern day? What's happening? Explain this to me, because this confused the hell out of me.
Give me.
The very first thing, we get a timestamp. Metropolis, June 1938, which was the first appearance of Superman, I assume. But there's nothing about this that is June 1938. This is all very modern continuity.
They skipped a now. No, yes and no. So 1938, the first Daily Planet statue was put on a building, and then we go to the next couple of times, which is current continuity. It just doesn't tell you.
They whoopsied. I think they gave you a timestamp and then didn't give you another timestamp.
Yeah.
So according to timestamp, this whole issue takes place in June 1938.
But if I don't know, it didn't bother me only because it was like watching a movie where they show you like the old thing and then it fades into the current continuity. Because but it didn't.
If they did a fade or a color alteration or something,
I am not a giant fan of like every other page a new like timestamp, but if they did some sort of visual reference for me to like
have that in black and white,
it goes from sepia to
for sure.
But
what did you think?
But it also didn't bother me too much. It was fine. It's cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
The
Kryptonite everywhere.
Yeah, the Kryptonite everywhere is interesting. The idea that it mostly fell in what is it, Bakovia or some bullshit
some made up.
Yeah. And they're basically turning kryptonite into vibranium. So they're able to use it for all their technologies and all this stuff and all this crazy stuff. And then the continuity shift, or at least new superpowers for Superman.
Caldera, maybe, is the name of the country? Sorry, go ahead.
I don't care.
Whatever.
The guy that looks like a Nazi.
I was going to say Bison. From Street Fighter.
Same picture.
Yeah. Those are the same picture. Nice.
I get it, but I also think it's a little dumb. But I get it. So it's like
it reminds me of Bendis.
It reminds me of a video game. This is like it's just like you have a new power for 5 minutes and then you have no power, and it's just like, okay, I get it. It's the mechanics of a video game. Yeah. I would love to see I want to see how they develop it in a story. But really it comes down to, it was revealed last issue, he's got a new kind of spectrum power when he
looks cool.
Hyper.
Silver Surfer, but gold.
When he basically absorbs so much kryptonite, his body almost goes into like all of the sun flare energy in his body comes to the surface, and he basically becomes like hard gold. Yeah. And then it expels after like what, a couple minutes, 3 minutes,
a minute and a half or something.
Yeah, like 300, like 3 minutes or something like that.
I think it was 100. Yeah.
No more than like 200 seconds or some bullshit like that. So he basically gets beat up enough to have like one last surge, and then after that, he's
invincible.
He's very vincible and still susceptible to kryptonite.
200 seconds.
Yeah. So it's kind of a cool idea, but it's also very much like a video game idea. Like, okay.
It reminds me of the last time a big Marvel person came over to DC to work on Superman, and they were like, "I'm gonna change." Was that him? Was that Bendis with the big explosion?
No.
Oh, never mind.
No,
Who
that was Johns.
Oh, Jeff Johns.
The Sunflare stuff.
Yeah, where he would explode.
Which is still continuity,
is
technically.
That still a thing?
Like that. I mean, they even mention it here that it's not like it's something like an evolution of your sunburst stuff, whatever.
So like, it's. I don't know how I feel about it.
This
like,
is
you
very
could just
Dan Slotty.
You could just write a Superman story. You don't have to like change his powers and stuff. It's fine. But also, I'm not mad at it. It's neat.
No, this is super cute, very accessible.
Yeah.
This is very much like I think if I was 12 or 13 years old, I think this was rad as hell.
Yeah.
That's basically it. I think the Superman book proper is better.
I'll tell you, right before we started going on air here, I was being like, man, I think I'm really enjoying the Superman section of DC right now. Like, I really enjoy Supergirl. I'm enjoying this.
How did
regular
you enjoy
Superman.
How did you enjoy Krypton?
Krypto. We'll get to that in a second. So yeah, I think this is pretty fresh. If you're looking for a Superman book, it's pretty fresh.
The super books are pretty fun right now. Yeah. There's only 3 of them, right? Action, Superman
and Unlimited.
Are you reading Action? I'm not reading Action.
I'm not reading.
Oh, we did. We read the first issue.
And I don't care.
It's fine.
Yeah. But while we're on the super tip, Krypto, the Last Dog of Krypton.
Written by Ryan North with art by Mike Norton.
Look at you.
Yeah, I mean, I like those guys.
Yeah, I like Mike Norton. He's a local.
Here?
Yeah.
I thought it was Chicago.
Maybe he was a local?
I don't know.
Anyway. This was cute.
I just always associated him and Tim Seeley with Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Because they used to be on all the...
I'm usually wrong.
All the...
I'm okay with that. I just say stuff, and it turns out none of it's true.
Just confidently.
I could be president. This was delightful. It's not
it's
quite as
super cute.
delightful as Pizza Dog, but delightful. from Hawkeye.
Yeah,
There's
no,
like a
I know
whole-
what you're saying. I'm
yeah.
trying to remember the Pizza Dog issues.
There's like no dialogue, I don't think. And when he hears, when they show you the conversation of the humans in the book, I believe it's just blah, 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 pizza dog, blah, 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 food.
So I Pizza Dog is like a novelty.
Yes,
This
as opposed to a full character.
actually like
Yeah.
a full character.
And I actually got I was a little sad.
Yeah.
Basically, we are introduced to Krypto, who existed on Krypton,
Mm-hmm.
and through watching Krypto, but then hearing what's going on around Krypto, you have Laura and Jor-El trying to figure out their next move now that they know that Krypton is doomed.
And no one believes them.
Of course. Which I thought actually was all very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of sad by how that goes,
Mhm.
right? They kind of, what was the monkey who went up in the,
It's a spoiler, but it's
Yeah.
pretty sad.
yeah. And then,
And then we see where he ends up.
yeah.
We see like
And
how
this was,
yeah, it was really
some-
sweet.
Yeah, you were like, I don't know if you really need to read this. I was like, this is really solid.
Yeah,
I
it
really enjoyed this.
was very cute.
Yeah. It's not like a must read,
That's what
but
I mean.
if you're into like
it's it's so good for what it is, but
Yes,
what it is
is a crypto
a
book.
very twee,
yeah.
cutesy little story. So
Yeah.
like it just depends on like what, like is
If
this
you're in the mood.
going to be at the top of my pull list? No,
If you're reading Supergirl, maybe Krypto is a book for you.
sure.
Because I enjoyed that as well. But it also is very twee.
Yeah, but that's like I don't want to be pejorative. I'm trying to think of a better way to say like 14-year-old YA cutesy. This is more like 10-year-old I'm still a fan of animals cutesy. Like they're different levels of cutesy. But both done incredibly well.
Yeah.
It's just the type like I would if somebody like a 22-year-old teenager 22-year-old guy who wants to get into Superman, I'm not going to be like, well, the Krypto book's really fun.
No,
Like it would
no.
like it's just levels, but it's really well done.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they're doing all of these like different lanes.
Yeah.
Like that's what's most important
Summer
about
of
this, I think.
Superman,
Yeah.
baby.
Like you've got a Supergirl book that's fantastic and it's directly pointed at its demographic, but in a way that it's enjoyable to anyone outside of the demographic, and same with this. It's like how I can watch an animated movie and be like, that joke's for me, and this is well done.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
these are. So I wouldn't be like, it's for everybody. It's not, but everyone can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because it's just well done for what it is. Yeah.
Agreed. Also, I kind of want a poster of this. I have the Dan Mora.
David Corn Sweat.
David. Is that how you say it? Corn Sweat.
Corn Sweat.
I always feel weird saying it. It just feels like corn sweat.
Corn Sweat.
Corn Sweat. This is awesome. I love when Dan Mora does these got cameo covers. I don't know what to call them. He's had one with like Guy Fieri. Fieri. He did one with the late night host.
William Shatner, Colbert.
Stuff like that.
He
People
did
were
an
mad
Adam-
at the
he
one
did
from
an
a
Adam
couple
West
weeks
one,
ago.
a Jerry Seinfeld
where
one.
Seinfeld, where they did one with James Gunn. All the people who are
Yeah, I did
mad
James
about
Gunn.
James Gunn's existence were like,
There was-
"Wow, that's so weird. I can't believe he's on all the marketing."
So
It's-
all the
right,
Superman
guys,
writers and
jeez.
creators that are like still alive were invited to the set, and they're all allowed to like post their pictures and stuff. So
Okay.
so like Jason Aaron had one, and
Oh.
Jim Lee, because they all went to the set.
I
And
missed
then
this.
there's pictures of James Gunn showing them around and whatnot. And there's always a comment of like James Gunn walking around like he invented Superman, and then I would always respond with Jim Lee walking around like he invented Superman.
Yeah.
Jason Aaron walking around like he invented Superman. Dan Jurgens walking around like
Yeah.
he invented Superman. Like, you're stupid.
It's so weird, man.
Fucking relax.
The hate is so.
It's
and
so
The only
forced.
thing I could think of is it's people who like Snyder, right?
I mean, that's how cults work, right? You just
Yeah.
get super passionate about one thing and
About
then
the
get
one thing.
blinders about any kind of rationality
Yeah,
around
some
it.
of these Twitter users, I'm like, ugh. And even when I block them, they're so pervasively annoying that people will screenshot their bad takes, and I'm like, I blocked that dude so I didn't have to see his shitty takes. You're showing it to me.
I left Twitter completely.
Yeah.
But I do still look on Reddit, and I will get like the screenshots and be like, they're still at it.
Yeah.
I just like that no one's paying attention anymore, because you'll see like the interactions being less and less. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Krypto was delightful.
Yeah, Krypto delightful.
What do you got?
I'm going to talk about Battle Beast number 2.
Do it.
Sorry.
You won't.
Invincible Universe, Battle Beast number 2 by Robert Kirkman with art by Ryan Otley and Annalisa Leone. This is did you guys talk about the first issue?
We did.
It
was gnarly.
It's a gnarly book.
Yeah.
First, I want to talk about the presentation of this book.
It's great.
The cardstock cover is matte finish, and it's absolutely wonderful.
It's textured
I
matte
love
finish.
Love it. It's and there's been a couple of image books that go this way, and I just do it for all.
If you buy a copy from my store, 100% chance that I caressed
rubbed it
because it feels so good.
I rubbed it hard and slow. This book is stupid.
So stupid.
It's so dumb. But it's a fun dumb.
Yeah.
I
love fun dumb.
It takes place in the middle of the Invincible run when Battle Beast shows up and he's just like, y'all suck, and left.
Yeah.
And then he's looking for someone that can kill him.
That's it. He just wants.
I really, really enjoy the sassy computer that's trying to kill
Android?
him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
right?
Yeah, I guess so. But Android isn't an antagonist. This is actually like an antagonist trying to kill him by doing his wishes.
The thing that they come to at the end of the first issue is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want me to help you? Oh, you know what? We have the same goal. I want you to die as well. I will help you.
And that's where this goes. Like, he just keeps taking him and then keeps undermining him in fun ways. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Kirkman has a way of, I guess, creating not unlike the books by Daniel Hilliard. You have a terrible person or a terrible antagonist, and you put them in a situation where you're just kind of forced to root for them because everything else around. So like this is pretty fun. Yeah. This is really fun. This will be a cute little side story thing. Oh, and then they do kind of add in there that Battle Beast trying to like get himself killed can't help but kind of helping other people around him by trying to get himself killed. And he's like, shut up. Stop it. No. What do you mean?
Also, the most violent book on the shelves.
It's very fresh.
Yeah. I can't wait to read the second issue.
It's very fresh. It's really fun.
At the very least, I'm going to touch it.
It is side questy. It does not matter at all.
It's 100% side questy.
But it's fun. Yeah. So,
Invincible Universe, side quest.
What did you think of the Star Wars?
Oh, so you and I are Star Wars fans and of the comic books historically, but I think we both feel that the current Star Wars direction is a little lackluster, even though it's the one I've been most looking forward to, which is charting new ground towards The Force Awakens. I was very much looking forward to it, and I find it a little lackluster and a little snoozy. I have not read Dr. Aphra, even though it's a character I like the idea of, and I like her when she shows up. I have the omnibus of her, but I have not read it yet. But she just seems like a cool character that I would enjoy. And this, I really had a good time with this. I really enjoyed this a lot more than Star Wars #1 that just dropped a couple weeks ago. I like her. I like the setup. The art is a little dark and a little muddy, but considering the character and where she dwells, I'm kind of okay with it. It matches thematically.
It's got Dexter Soy vibes. Do you remember?
I do. Yeah.
Where it's like kind of muddy,
kind
of dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I like this pairing of Aphra and Luke. Mm-hmm. I like what they've set up here. The stakes are interesting. The reveal at the end is interesting, or I guess not reveal, but like
this whole issue is set up. Yeah, this is the pilot of a TV show. I did not feel the same way.
Yeah, you seem like meh.
Well, no, not this book. I'm talking about Star Wars in general. Like, I was not looking forward to the next phase.
No.
Well, because I didn't really. I don't necessarily need to know what Luke, Leia, and Han ate for dinner the night after. Like, hang on, I'm being hyperbolic. Let me finish.
I understand.
Because we've gotten so many really good stories in pieces over in that 30 years, right? So I was not interested in the immediate after, especially because almost all of the content now too, like on TV and stuff, is that 5-year span in between after. So I'm like, I want to see like 60-year-old Han reconnecting. I wanted to push a little forward in between that time and not like the next 30 years of like, how did fascism get back?
Research.
It just didn't really appeal to me. I wanted to see the struggle, not the fall. So I'm not super interested in, and I also kind of think, right? I also kind of think I need a moratorium or a break on Luke, Leia, and Han.
Oh yeah,
I want time off.
Okay.
We've seen every single nook and cranny of all of their movies at this point, and all the things in between, and everything leading up to. How about we put them on the shelf and let them like grow in missing, and then we come back and like visit them at pieces. Because honestly, my favorite Star Wars books right now is the Vader or the Legacy of Vader one that shows you a clip somewhere else, or the Jedi Knights book is fun as hell because it
started it yet.
It's 5 years before episode 1. So these are eras that aren't, these are little pockets that aren't really explored, and I feel like everything with those original 3 characters has been a little overexposed, and let's take a beat. And so when they announced it, and then they announced creative teams that I just don't really care about.
Same.
So
I don't know
whatever.
either name on this book.
Oh, so yeah. So to talk about Dr. Aphra.
Oh God, I didn't even say. I'm sorry. Dr. Aphra, Chaos Agent #1. Welcome to the Daggers by Cherish Chen, dope ass name Cherish Chen, and Gabriel Guzman, with Mike Atiyah and Joe Coromagna.
I was talking more about the Star Wars book, the main Star Wars book.
But I realized I didn't.
But when it comes to Dr. Aphra, I've never needed to know her creative team because this is always like a side character thing.
Usually Alyssa Wong.
I really liked the Alyssa Wong run. Most of the Alyssa Wong run. It started to repeat beats over and over again. When your main protagonist is somebody that is completely unreliable, you could just rely on them being unreliable. Yeah. So it's just like it kept repeating the same beats, like Walking Dead, where it's like, yes, we're going to find this, we're going to do this.
We're going to go to a town, we're going to get overrun, we're going to leave.
Yeah, like it becomes the same thing of like she's an unreliable character, which is really fun. But when you focus on an unreliable character, they become rote, not unlike Deadpool. Yeah. Like, okay. Like or Punisher. Like, got it. I know your shtick. What's next? So I was a little apprehensive. It's a good pairing. Is Luke just guest starring, or is he going to be a co-lead?
I don't know.
Because I mean, I like it. I really didn't like the art, but I like the layout. I like the action. The setup's fun.
There's actually a really good chase sequence.
But then when they sit and just talk to each other, it's like Aphra.
I like this. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Both Aphra and Luke oscillate in ages between 25 and 48.
Depending on the shadows in the room. Yeah. Agreed.
Which did make me think, like, how old is Aphra?
I think she's supposed to be in her late 20s, early 30s.
Right?
Right? That's what I'm thinking.
Sometimes here she looks 40, and then... And it's not even a knock at the art so much as it made me start to wonder and question the time span and where we are and how many years have passed and how old is she actually and what, like because the art was so inconsistent, it made me wonder, like, wait, which one is more accurate?
Older? Yeah.
Is she, because she was around during the original trilogy, and maybe she's a contemporary of Luke. Right? Yeah, they're about the same age, so maybe she's...
Yeah, he's late 20s, early 30s, I'd say, too, right?
Yeah, probably early 30s at this point.
Yeah.
So I like that they're aging her up.
Yeah.
And she's not just a little petulant kid anymore, or kid-ish.
Man.
They also
Winslade.
flirt.
I'm so sorry. This whole time, I've been sitting here trying to figure out what this artist looks like. Phil Winslade was an artist in the mid-late 90s, early aughts, and he did a lot of... Gosh, I can never remember the name of that DC imprint that was awesome.
Black Label?
No, before that. We always say
Vertigo?
that, and then you go to Vertigo. Yeah, he did some Vertigo books.
Vertigo.
Very similar to Phil Winslade, who I never liked, but this feels a little stronger than Phil Winslade.
Never heard of that, man.
This is for like the 2 people out there who will recognize that name. Sorry.
Yeah, this is fine. I think this is perfectly cromulent. It's charming, but dude, I feel like I can't wait to the next one. No, maybe I'll collect it later somewhere down the line. But I love Aphra as a character, and I want her to continue. She is probably the most exciting thing happening in this era of Star Wars right now. Yeah, just the character of Dr. Aphra, and I want to see her everywhere.
I like that you're enjoying Legacy of Vader.
Oh, it's great.
That's cool.
I would take an Aphra show over 5 more Ahsokas.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God, what a disappointment! I'm so sorry. I was very disappointed in Ahsoka.
Like, just stop with Boba Fett. Stop with...
As much as I love Rebels.
And you know what? Maybe that's just it. It's the oversaturation of this era of time in Star Wars, the New Republic building. Like, stop. I don't care.
I do care.
I want to.
I just want it to be more interesting.
I was going to say, I care when it's good.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of the same.
Kind of mid.
Even, it's like a 2-minute rant about The Mandalorian. Even that had no conviction after the second season and just kind of kept reversing steps because they were popular. Like they literally would reverse character progression to keep it going. And it's like, stop it. Like, Just be good. Don't worry about how many seasons you have in the cans.
Yeah.
And that's what some of these comics feel like. Like, this is what's popular. Let's just keep mining it. I'm like, maybe absence makes the heart grow fonder. Maybe we explore, I don't know, the rest of the galaxy in every other kind of way.
See, this kind of felt to me, I thought you would appreciate it because it feels to me like you might like it in the same way that you liked Bounty Hunters. Because it is a different kind of section of the universe.
That was just wildly
Luke
different.
shows up.
That was just wildly different altogether. Yeah. This, I mean, I've been reading Aphra books for what, 7-8 years now.
I guess so. Wow,
yeah, so like I wouldn't
to me,
call
she's
her,
still a new character.
I wouldn't call her new anymore. No,
yeah,
she's literally she's literally guested in like every book and had her own like 3 or 4 different runs.
Yeah.
Bounty Hunters was disparate characters that I don't even know their names.
Right. Yeah.
And that was what's cool.
I'm going to read the next one at the very least.
Oh yeah,
and I'm going to catch up on Legacy of Vader because I am also enjoying that.
Yeah, Legacy. The books that don't have Luke are my favorite books right now.
Yeah. It's funny. Luke is never my favorite. A lot of like to me. This is a whole thing. I never liked Luke until The Last Jedi. Except for I did like his cool outfit in Return of the Jedi.
Luke is like a classic Mary Sue.
Yeah.
Basically, the plot happens to him, and he just is magically able to propel the plot, right? So everything, and by virtue of just storytelling, that's fine. You've got characters like that. Yeah. So what you do is you let the other characters kind of breathe in the spaces that he can't because he's supposed to be the chosen one.
Yeah.
And Mark Hamill did it perfectly. Everything works. That's fine. But then when you just deify that, there's nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing interesting about somebody that is always good at something.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no struggles. It was hard for him to become a Jedi. But as a viewer, we would never question that he was going to become a Jedi, that he was never going to be able to make it work. There is no stakes other than just seeing it happen versus is it going to work? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until The Last Jedi that he actually basically let himself eat itself. Yeah. And I think that's super interesting.
I do. I kind of see what and I think this is where you're coming from regarding this period of time that we're exploring in Star Wars media is I'm listening to Bloodline. I just downloaded Bloodline, which was a novel that takes place it's a Leia novel after the end of the original trilogy. Mm. And so it's her and Han, and she's about to quit politics. Mon Mothma's already stepped down. Everything you can see where things are headed. Like even this is, I think, around the time of The Force Awakens coming out. So we kind of saw everything where it was headed. And it gets sad. Because it's like her and Han, and they're still together and kind of happy and blah, blah, blah. And you're just kind of like, oh, I know, but they're going to break up. And then he's going to get murdered by their son. So it's kind of a downer. Anyway.
It's such a big universe. Let's play in other places. And Bounty Hunters played in other places. Dr. Aphra does play in other places. Mm-hmm. Jedi Knights, Legacy of Vader. These are unexplored. The Poe book that I always wanted to read and never did. By Charles Soule. These are places that I would love to like explore. I don't, as much as I love Han and Leia and Luke, I don't need them in every fucking thing to just like show up and give a thumbs up, or Boba Fett to be in the background of everything. Come on, it's a bigger universe.
That's the whole Glup Shitto thing, right?
Yeah,
Glup Shitto.
And me, like as much as it works in Dr. Aphra because these two are diametrically opposed characters in how they approach the world. If you give them the same goal, they'll bounce off each other. That works. Yeah. But if it was just Luke, or if it was just Doc, I don't know if I care as much. Okay. So let's see how this goes. Is he going to actually, like I said, is he going to actually be a side character for a while? It should be interesting. But at the end of the issue, it almost seems like he's just there to, like the guest star at the first episode, and like, I'll see you around, kid. Yeah. Like, I don't know if he's gonna be in it.
Yeah, I don't know either. Has he had any romance besides his sister?
There's flirting in this, and I'm down.
Right? Because I was about to make a comparison of Peter Parker and Black Cat from this week's Amazing Spider-Man.
They don't have the balls.
They don't. You don't think?
No.
Do it, cowards.
In no way. I will give you $5 if they actually have a relationship with Luke.
Hold up. $5 whole.
$5. I'll give you. I will buy an extra comic. If no, I don't think that they have the balls. Also, is she bi or pan? I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, that's still...
No, I know, but like, I don't think they don't have the
That's
balls
too
to put her
hetero.
in. They don't have the balls to put her in relationships, let alone some
see.
like the deity that is
Yeah.
Luke.
Yeah.
Like I
Now I want it to happen even more.
I
Do it.
there is a
Coward.
scene in here where he makes her blush,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
This is the book I want. That's what would be interesting.
Yeah.
An unexplored section of this person's life.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would love that. But no, I don't think they would ever do it. I don't think Marvel or Disney would ever do it.
Let's wrap it up.
Nope.
Let's do one more before we wrap it up.
Yeah, I want to talk about AVA, Aliens versus Avengers, which is number 4, written by Jonathan Hickman with art by Esad Ribish. What a book. Like, I had no idea. Every single there's the 4 issues. They're all double-sized. Every single issue, I have no idea what the hell they're going to do next.
Yeah.
They continue that. And halfway through this book, I'm like, this is the last issue.
Oh, is it?
How are they going to wrap this up? And he somehow does. And it's...
Oh, I didn't realize this was the end.
This is so... I mean, maybe it won't be forever, but this is the end of this miniseries.
Yeah.
This is so creative. I'm kind of shocked. Yeah, it's so incredibly creative. There's best part of the last issue was, like Sinister being like basically incredibly obsessed with them and like shooting face huggers at people and
trying to face hugger gun.
He's basically trying
Launcher.
to figure out how to manipulate their physiology with all the stuff he's into and like blah blah blah. That progresses in the most weird, natural, organic way.
Okay.
And then we get cool Wakanda shit. This book is awesome.
Oh, okay.
This book is awesome.
All right. I've enjoyed the first 3.
This is fresh as hell. This is they can never touch it again, and then they could
Or they
do
could,
more.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd want anyone other than Hickman doing it.
Right.
So I'd wait for that because this is so very, very, very creative in a way that seems very much like him.
I remember when it was coming, and I was like, oh, Avengers versus Aliens. Oh, I wonder who's going to win. And then it didn't even occur to me. Oh, it's a multiverse. Duh, of course. So everyone is doomed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, isn't
No
that the
one's
first
safe.
issue? Like all the engineers and the Davids just kind of.
That was
they're
another
trying
thing that
to
impressed me.
They're trying
Like-
to infest all of the different multiverses with just crazy.
The fact that he focuses on one of the most hated portions of the alien mythos. And
Completely,
I was
like
like, all
both
right,
ends of
Hickman,
it. And
get it.
and so in a microcosm, this book is basically 2 gods fighting each other. You've got the Davids who are traversing the multiverse, trying to infect everything with xenomorphs, and then the engineers who are trying to erase the existence of them and literally destroying whole planets that are infected by it. Just constantly trying to one-up each other, and then you've got your heroes kind of stuck in the middle of it.
I can't wait to finish it.
It's a really, really fun book. It's better than a IP has any right to be.
Right. 2 IP crossovers.
Basically,
right?
yeah. But to my favorite book of the week.
Oh, yes. You. The first text you sent me this week was sending me a screenshot or a picture of this comic saying, this was dope.
Yeah.
Oni Press put out a new book by Ben H. Winters and Leo Max called Benjamin.
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 With a beautiful cover by Christian Ward.
Yeah. And I went, who's Leo Max? Why do I know that? Ah, yes. You let me know that he was the artist on one of my favorite Joe Hill Johns,
Basket
Full of Heads.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It was
Which
really
is
good
like,
stuff.
if you haven't read it, it's like a Tales from the Crypt episode. It's very tongue-in-cheek, very silly, very bloody, lots of fun.
But the art is very, very specific and like it's very, very emotive. It's almost Kevin Maguire-esque in its acting, and it does so much work, and it's wonderful.
This is really fun. I didn't know what it was or what we were doing until they told me what we were doing, and I went, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I guess this is a metatextual book. Just a very confident, over wordy, annoying man.
Yeah, I hate this guy.
Wakes up in the middle. Wakes up in a hotel, has no idea how he got there, and then he discovers things along the way. I don't even want to talk.
Yeah, it's hard not to spoil.
This is, I would say, pick this up blind. It's such a fun book. The art is fantastic. The main character is so petulant and smart at the same time that I hate him, but I couldn't stop reading what he was saying. His vocabulary is to the hilt.
Yeah.
And learning about him is just like, that would make sense. You're a goddamn recluse and you do words. That's awesome. And then just as it transpires, it's just it reminded me of I won't even say what movie it was, because then I'll spoil it. But no, this is a great book.
Yeah, this is a good one. In the same way that I was telling people to just grab Exquisite Corpses, if you want like a really interesting indie book, Benjamin.
Yeah, just grab Benjamin. This is a awesome book.
Ben H. Winters is a novelist, because I don't know the name. So I'm looking him up. Novelist. He's also done some stuff for like Cruel Universe, the EC books, Cruel Universe. He did Android Karenina.
Never heard of any of this.
Karenina. Sense and Sensibilities and Sea Monsters. Those books.
That guy.
Yeah. So yeah, this is great. Again, and the presentation is off the charts.
Yeah.
The paper stock, everything is wonderful.
What is it? $4.99.
It is a secret. $5.99.
That makes sense.
But yeah, this is really, really well done.
Yeah,
highly recommend.
wonderful book. Good
Fresh
stuff.
AF.
Fresh AF. Anything else you're looking forward to this week?
Well, I'm gonna finish AVA. I'm gonna try and catch up on the Ultimates.
Ultimates was fun. Godzilla versus everything. Godzilla versus Avengers. It was fine.
I also read Amazing Spider-Man this week.
ASM Wonder Woman comes out this week. It's kind of it's a fill-in artist, so it's kind of an in-between issue.
Art is not great.
Yeah, I mean that.
You know what? I'm going to read a book from last week, Death of Silver Surfer, #1. I missed it. I did not read it. Yeah.
Didn't the Storm book come out? The first trade of Storm.
Oh, does it?
Either this week.
I don't have a copy of it.
Either this week or
might be next week.
Last week or next week. Either way, I'm very interested in reading that.
Yeah, we read the first issue and liked it.
I didn't read the first issue. It was the Manhunt crossover, and you were like, something weird's happening in this book, and I want to read it.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. All right. So for the live stream this week, 8 p.m. on Wednesday nights, we go live.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Wednesday nights we go live. Last week we talked about, what did we talk about last week?
Two things. Two big things.
It was something. Predator, Killer of Killers, and The Ballerina. Join us this week where we talk about other cool, fun stuff, and have special guests and have all the fun.
We're going to try and call our shot. I'm going to say it out loud. We're going to try to make this show more regular, consistent. I believe we're going to try and have it go live Thursday mornings at 9 a.m.
Yes.
So it'll be here every week, the same time. I've been very lax about scheduling it. So I'm going to try and...
We're going to try and be incredibly consistent, and part of that consistency means that we're going to keep teasing stuff. So join us next week. Some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about is probably in the doc, but it's fine.
You don't have it open.
No, I don't have it open. It's totally fine. We are going to be in your feeds every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. and be on your TV screens or computer screens every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about all the fun, nerdy stuff. So join us, jump in the conversation, like, comment, subscribe, hang out with us live, because you never know what you're going to get.
Here we go. We do know what we're going to get.
We're going to talk about
next week is New History of the DC Universe.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun.
We're going to check in on Absolute Martian Manhunter, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and I think it's time that we talk about Void Rivals. You got me back on this book.
Are you back on?
I'm
up
back
to date?
On this book, baby.
All right.
Yeah, I'm very excited. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we'll talk at you later. Bap.
Thank you for listening to the CultPop Network, home to podcasts, live shows, and a whole lot of fun stuff for every flavor of fan. Follow us wherever you find your favorite podcasts, and be sure to join us live every Wednesday night at youtube.com/CultPopGo at 8 p.m. Eastern. While you're there, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you'll know when we drop new Thunder Rounds and episodes of Fresh Floppies, a spoiler-free show about single-issue comics released each week. Until then, we'll talk at you later.